by positioning all the bulletin board in the lobby of the Borough Hall and filing a notice of the same with the municipal clerk. I would like to remind the public that there are 3 fire exits in this room, 1 at the rear and 2 at the front. Roll call, please.
Councilman Bartoloni.
Here.
Councilman Mascaratolo.
Here.
Councilman Porco.
Here.
Councilman Leon.
Here.
Councilman Kennedy.
Here.
Councilman Ford.
Here.
And Mayor Walker.
Here. I'd like a motion for the approval of the minutes by consent for the mayor and council and Riverbridge Board of Education meeting on May 9th, 2011.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Abstain, Mayor. I wasn't at the
Okay, thank you. 1 abstention. I'd like a motion to approve the minutes of the mayor and council special meeting of May 12th, 2011.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? I'd like a motion to approve the minutes of the mayor and council work session and regular meeting of May 16th, 2011.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? I'd like a motion to approve the minutes of the mayor and council work session meeting of May 23rd, 2011.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Proclamations and awards, we have none. Appointments and personnel changes. I'd like a motion to approve the hire of Tom Smith as a fire inspector in the Fire Prevention Bureau at an hourly step 1 rate of $21.49 with a 6-month probationary period effective June 7th, 2011.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Does Tom need to swear in?
No, I just didn't hire it. Next time for the next slide.
Okay. Like a motion to approve the salary change of Mary Ann Giuliano, Youth Services Librarian, for an additional $1,500 due to an annual waiver of health benefits as per Section 3, Subject 4 of the Personnel Policy and Procedure Manual, which will be prorated for the remainder of 2011, effective upon receipt of waiver acceptance from the State of New Jersey.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Like a motion to table the approval of the hire.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We will come back to that after the next closed session. I'd like a motion to approve the salary change of Joseph Staros Police Department from an annual salary of $108,518 for acting sergeant's pay to $100,479,000 patrolman's pay, effective June 6th, 2011.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? I'd like a motion to table the hire of the secretary to the Board of Health until after we have the work session.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Various correspondences are available for anybody who wishes to see them. And we have monthly reports from the Library Board, Historic Commission, Beautification Committee, Shade Tree Commission, and the Building Department. Ordinances for the first reading. Ordinance 1732.
Ordinance 1732, a bond ordinance to authorize the resurfacing of Howland Avenue from approximately 225 feet west of Fifth Avenue to the Paramus border, the general improvement and the construction and reconstruction of sidewalks, curbs, and driveway aprons along and in front of such section of Howland Avenue, and the construction and reconstruction of sidewalks and driveway aprons along and in front of Howland Avenue from Bogart Road approximately 400 feet west, a sidewalk improvement in by and for the Borough of River Edge in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $173,000 to pay the cost thereof, to authorize the issuance of bonds, to finance such appropriation, and to provide the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
Since this is the first reading, I will make a motion on this ordinance, 1732.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Ordinance 1733.
Ordinance 1733, bond ordinance to authorize the construction and reconstruction of sidewalks in connection with intersection improvement and installation of a traffic light at Pinnacomack Road and Howland Avenue in by and for the Borough of River Edge, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey. A sidewalk improvement to appropriate the sum of $43,980 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment to authorize the issuance of bonds, to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
Okay, I'd like a motion on that. This is the first reading, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Ordinances for the second reading, we have none. Resolutions by consent. Does any council person wish to have any resolution pulled out and read separately?
Only, Mayor, resolutions number 11-211 and 212.
Alan, is there any resolutions involved with the hirings that have to go before that?
No.
All right, then may I have a motion, please, on resolutions 11-197 through 11-210 and 11-213, excuse me?
No, I was just commenting to Councilman Ward on another resolution which.
You have another one you want to?
No.
And 11-213 to 11-217.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Resolutions 11-211. Okay, Sandy, what would you like? Oh, that's the resolution, so you want a separate call on that?
Yeah, but I
Okay.
just wanted to find out,
Uh-huh.
these two resolutions are both in opposition to certain legislation. One is a Senate bill, one is an Assembly bill. And my question is, how did the resolutions get on the agenda when council was never provided with a copy of the legislation?
Mayor,
Usually didn't you get it in your email? No?
We got a copy of the
Alan?
agenda that had the resolution on it.
Okay, Alan?
I believe that these came out from the League of Municipalities, and an explanation was provided in their, what do they call it? They call it, I don't know, it's a listing of current legislation to the mayor, and we provide that generally to the, by email to the rest of the mayor and council. Provides an explanation as to legislation. But the actual bills, no, we did not provide the actual bills, you are correct. We can do that, if that's what the council would like, instead of a summary, you know,
Okay, so you want the full bill, Sandy?
Yeah, I would move just to table those resolutions so that each council person can look at the legislation, decide if they want to support it or oppose it.
Okay, that's fine. So you make the motion to table those, and,
Make a motion to
I need a
table.
volunteer to.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And so if you would just provide us, provide the entire council with, that entire
Point of information.
bit of information. Yes.
We voted on a resolution to support Senate Bill S-54 under 11-197, would that be included as well?
Yes,
Yes.
I'll provide a copy of that
Yes,
legislation.
copy of that, sir.
I actually took a look at that, and that's legislation giving towns authority to clean out streams without permits. I thought it was actually a good resolution to pass.
Okay. Well, we have two that we are going to be reviewing. All right. Okay, and now for resolution 11-218, payment of the bills. I'd like to ask our finance chair, Councilman Mitchell, read the payment of the bills.
whereas vouchers for the payment of goods and services rendered to the Borough of Riveredge have been received, and whereas each bill has been checked by the receiving department, approved by the Chief Financial Officer and Borough Clerk, and reviewed by the 3 members of the Finance Committee. Now therefore be it resolved that bills as listed now be confirmed for payment from the appropriate funds as follows. Current account total, $1,015,895.98. Capital account, $15,179.29. Recreation account, $6,004.09. Trust other account, $6,046.06. Open space account, $5,175.83. Trust other developers account, $880. So moved.
Have a second on that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, at this time, I'd like a motion to open this portion of the meeting to the public on any issue.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? This portion of the meeting is now open to the public on any issue. If there is anyone here who wishes to be heard, please raise your hand, state your name and address, and ask your question. We have one person right here. Young man?
Carl Fazio, 229 Madison Avenue. For almost 4 months, I was part of the Citizens Budget Committee, meeting each Saturday at 7:30 to discuss the budget. When the residents of Riveredge voted down the school budget, I had confidence in you that you would do the right thing. Well, shame on me. The residents were not confused, and you should have listened. Every committee, organization, or department of Riveredge that came before that budget committee was reduced, even taking away the fire department's clothing allowance. But no, you did not listen to the voters, and ignored our vote and passed the budget. I have no students in the River Edge School District, so I would not have been intimidated that my child would have been retaliated against for speaking out. But I had confidence in you to do the right thing. Again, shame on me. We, the residents of River Edge, voted you in, and we will vote you out. When discussing your plans to outsource our highly qualified, dedicated, hardworking DPW, have the courage to face the residents and give us your plans. Don't make your decisions at 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning. If you want to save taxpayer dollars, then get rid of a code enforcer that does not enforce the codes that River Edge has in place. Let's talk about lost revenue. How about fines that were not levied when residents like me spoke out and brought it to your attention? The time for incompetence is over.
Is there anyone else in the audience who wishes to be heard? Okay, young man in the back, all the way in the back. Okay, name and address, please.
Karl Marx, 685 Beaufort Road, River Edge. Resident since 1974. I've seen a lot of people come and go, but I'm feeling ashamed that the mayor and council does not listen to its residents. It's a sad day when you're getting rid of your DPW. It's a sad day when people vote on something and you don't care. This is, we had the best DPW. This is when they leave, you don't have coverage on your fire department. This is, I'm not in the fire department. I'm not with the DPW. I was in business for 39 years. And if you've been in business, like maybe one or two of you up here, okay, you understand without manpower you can't run a business. And the town is a business. This is, I think, the first thing you should consider outsourcing yourself. Okay? There are 3 people here that are sitting right in front of me that are essential to the town, which is our attorney. He's been here forever. Borough clerk, been here forever. The administrator. Okay, and we need a mayor. But the rest of you are all expendable. I hate to say this, because you really don't care what the town thinks. This is the liaison to the fire department. When was the last time you went to the fire department? You live here in River Edge, okay? This is, you go there and visit them, you go to the DPW, you see what's going on down there? This is, you go through the fields here and see what they do? No, very few of you do. And that's a shame, shame on you, okay? Thank you very much for your time.
Have a young lady over here, please. Name and address.
You like 741 Central Avenue. I've been up there so many times telling the mayor and council, whether it was you or any other council before you, how great our DPW is and has and always has been. And if you even consider doing something like I'm hearing that you're doing, thinking about having an outside company in it, and we're going to pay God knows how much money to not have the kind of service that we have here that's so personal it isn't funny. If you leave River Edge after a snowstorm and you go from here to the next town or any town around you, as most of us do when we go there, and we find out that River Edge was the only, it looks like River Edge was the only one that was cleaned up and done. You get into other towns and all you have in the roads are bumps and snow all over the place that you have to crawl over. River Edge DPW does such a heck of a job that it isn't funny, and it's always been that way. And the other thing is recycling. Look at the recycling job that we do here. I mean, I'm one of the people who started recycling in this town when I was on the Environmental Commission years ago. Myself and another young lady, I can't remember her name right now, but
Phyllis
we
Small.
started by going around from town to town, finding out what everybody was doing, and it has done nothing but progress and progress and progress from then. Our recycling is unbelievable. You go to any other town and ask them how they recycle, they don't get the money that we do, they don't get the work done by the DPW. Their DPWs don't do half as much as ours do. And I can't believe that you're even thinking about doing anything against them. Right now, they're they're down several employees, and they're still doing a fantastic job. So I just can't understand why you would even consider doing anything to lessen the folks who are in our DPW, and especially, I had even forgotten how many of them are on that come out for the fire department, and that's another big plus. They're the super plus people in this whole Bergen County, as far as I'm concerned. And I would like you to reconsider even thinking about what you're thinking about.
Thank you, Peggy. Everybody, I know we're gonna have great speakers tonight. If you could hold the applause until everybody has done, then we can have everybody have a chance to speak. Okay, gentlemen over here?
Greg Caridi, 193 Wayne Avenue. Just to key off what Peggy said, I think what a lot of you don't realize, Johnny, maybe you don't realize, that when they're doing the snow plowing, when there's a fire call, they plow the street for us to get into. During the blizzard, there was a CO call on Eastbrook Drive. By the time we got there, the street was plowed curb to curb. Do you really think a private contractor is going to do that? I don't think so. The ambulance corps, they do it for them. Every half hour they're plowing Continental Avenue to make sure if there's an ambulance call that these people can get to the building for us. Do you think a private contractor is going to do that? Let's not be penny wise and pound foolish. Wake up, see what's going on, go out and see what these guys are doing. Enough is enough.
Thank you, Greg. Come on, big guy. Now hold it off. I would like everybody to have a chance to talk. Good one. Okay, please.
Darrell O'Connor, I'm the library director here in River Edge, and I would like to speak in very positive terms about the amazing jobs that the DPW do. And I say jobs because there are hundreds of jobs every year that I rely on John and his staff to do. We talk about recycling. I remove probably 6,000 to 10,000 books a year from the collection. We have a very old collection, and we also process thousands of donated books every year. All of those get recycled because of the DPW. Speaking of snow removal, I know that we compare very favourably with every other community in this area, in the North Jersey area, because I see what times the other libraries open after snowstorms. I would say we get open hours ahead of 3/4 of the libraries in this area. Remember, I'm looking at big towns as well with libraries that have custodial staff. We don't have anybody on our staff that can do that kind of work. I rely on John and his staff to do that for us. Without the DPW, I don't know how I would get these jobs done, or how I would maintain this building that we have. Our building, again, is 14,000 square foot. It's not a small facility. A good sized building needs to be taken care of properly if we're to have decent library service in River Edge. And they do their job with courtesy and good humour, even in trying circumstances. And so that's my contribution to this conversation.
Thank you very much, Mr. O'Connor. No clapping, please. We want everybody to have a chance. If you keep clapping, I can't do that. Young lady here.
I am Mary Baker. I'm the president of the River Edge Volunteer Ambulance Service. We are here tonight to make sure the Mayor and Council is aware of the wonderful and necessary working relationship the DPW and the Ambulance Corps have developed since John Lynch has become superintendent. During the long, icy, snowy winter, we have never had a problem getting our rigs out thanks to the DPW, since they are in radio contact with us and in turn to our and are in tune to our needs. We have always gotten the ambulance to the scene without any problem. If a call came in, they were there to make sure our driveways were clear and our route to the call was passable without us asking. If a call was on a hill, there was never a problem, since they know the geography of the town. They would be there to take care of the hill, and we would have no problem. We need the manpower that they also give us to get our rigs out. The ambulance corps is funded by the generosity of the donation of the people of River Edge. If we're unable to continue the service to River Edge, as many other squads have, the borough will have to go to paid service, which would charge the residents for basic and advanced ALS services. Thank you for your time, and I hope you all see that the DPW and the ambulance corps continue to work together as a team for the best interest of the residents of River Edge.
Thank you, Mary. Okay, this gentleman.
Raymond, 210 10 Mohawk Drive. I want to start out by saying River Edge is like a corporation. You are a hired temp help running the board of directors. We are the stockholders. Okay, right now, I see a one-way conversation going this way, and everyone just laying back and going up and down, up and down. You're not saying anything. I've heard stories on what you're planning on doing. So the question is, Mayor, who are you hiring to do the snow plowing?
Mr. Stitz, we have not even come to that point. We have not even, nothing has even been discussed at that point. The idea has been thrown out to think about privatizing. Nothing has been said that anybody here is losing their job or that anybody is going to be replaced. It is just something that is being investigated. So I can't answer you on who is going to do it. I know I shovel my own driveway and path like most of you do. I have no idea yet where we are going with this, and I will let every council person during council comments address this.
Okay, because there has to be some sort of template you're using
No,
to do this.
not yet.
Because this just doesn't come out of the thin air.
No, there was something that, was discussed in the past. You're gonna talk about it at council comments. Hold on, Johnny. All right? You will talk at council comments.
Yeah.
It has been put out in many towns about privatizing certain things. As you know, our garbage is privatized. We don't pick up garbage.
We never have.
Right? And that has been for years. We have not done that. We are in shared services with that now. All right. Several people in town, maybe not the majority, but several people have broached the question of what would be the savings if it did happen, if there were certain aspects. Nothing has been discussed that it is going to happen. It is just a concept to see if there would be a savings. Nobody has been told that they're going to be losing their jobs. Nobody has been told that we are taking away certain activities, because it has not been vetted here in this council. Nobody has brought in costs. Nobody has made comparisons. It is just something that is being looked at. This entire council will have a chance to respond to you whether they each individually have some kind of a plan. I have not seen any plan by any of them. It is just being talked about. But as of today, this very moment, there is nothing written yet. John was asked to submit stuff to us because we need to see exactly what the DPW does. We know what they do, but then it's the day in, day out operations. And I am very familiar with them, but most of the council is not.
Okay, related to DPW. I heard also that you wanted, or you're thinking about, having the residents bag their leaves.
No,
Now,
this is just
okay.
something that is mentioned.
Okay, but just to let you know, I do bag my leaves because that's my option.
Okay.
That's what I decide to do. But the cost that you're going to put upon, shift from your budget to our budget, especially those people that are on fixed income, is not right. It's similar to when you had the stockholders vote on contributing so much of their taxes toward open space. And then you took that money and you put it into the general operating fund. And that was breaking the trust that when we voted for that, we said, it's not going to help supplement salaries. It was for open space. Now you can color it any way you want. You can color it any way you want. We trusted in you to take the extra tax money and put it to open space. You put it to the budget. That's an unofficial tax increase.
No, you're wrong on that. It was put to the gentleman in the DPW who maintained the open space. You're coloring it the wrong way. We need people who trim lawns, do the trees, do everything else in the parks, all right? That's part of our open space. They take care of KVG, all the fields, part of the open space. It is by law allowed. That's what you're allowed to do with it. Now, if you're talking about just purchasing more open space, that's a different thing. but the fact is that this council has not done anything that is not permitted under the rules for, the open space,
But is
money.
it different than the wording that was put on the original resolution that we approved in that vote to set aside taxes specifically? I mean, if
For
that
the
was the case,
preservation of open
if that was
space.
the case, you should have just raised the taxes and been done with it.
Well, it was
Not
supposed-
disguise it with, well, it's still part of the operating budget, but we're gonna call it open space.
Well, it was, no, that's what it was put out as originally, because the county had set it out to us, that it was a possibility that we could do this. And I think that would be about 10 years ago, Ellen? 8 years ago, maybe 8 to 10 years ago. And that was the original statement that they had, that it would be for the preservation of open space. And I do think that, DPW has been preserving the open space. Now, if you think that we are doing something that is illegal, then we do need you to, come forward, and I'm glad you're talking about it today, and we will investigate. But so far, this has been an accepted, thing, that has been put out through open space.
Okay, one last thing, I promise I'll sit down.
Well, you can say whatever, go ahead.
I'll be back. We're talking about saving money,
Mm-hmm.
putting people on furlough, reducing clothing allowance, and my son's a fireman, so I have a vested interest in that. And now you're thinking about or looking into reducing the use of the DPW. And I saw it bantered about in the newspapers, and I never came up here to talk about it because I've been too busy working. But I'm here.
Okay.
Is everybody gainfully employed on the outside? All the councilmen, the mayor, and the borough attorney? Right? You all have
Yes.
work for businesses and everything. Then why are we paying your health benefits?
You're
I
not.
know there's a little rule you put in there, anyone that works under 35 hours will not get the benefits, but that's not saying, are the council members, you, mayor, and the attorney, are we paying for your health benefits?
Absolutely not.
There's
There is
no
no
expense going out of the
No, there
the
isn't.
town, you've
No.
given it all up,
Everything. Yeah. We've even given back salary.
okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else you would like to know?
Not yet.
Gentleman in the back.
Thank you, Mayor. John Moundy, 770 Oak Avenue. I'd just like to dovetail off Mr. Stitz a little bit and ask the council to look deeply into these decisions that are being made. There are a lot of hidden costs, and I spoke about this a little bit when I discussed the fire department budget. You opt to go over to, let's say, begging our own leaves. I myself, at 55, would opt to do that myself. But Peggy White has to hire somebody to come in and now beg her leaves and pay $1.77 for those leaves.
You underestimate this woman.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I know it.
The cost, as Mr. Stitz said, the cost is taken off of the borough and dumped onto the taxpayer. Okay? I'm already paying, as most of us are here, some $12,000 odd in taxes, and now I have to go and add $1.77 a bag, and what's my time worth? $10 an hour, $15 an hour? Peggy, forgive me for using you, but Peggy White has to go hire somebody at $18 or $20 an hour to bag her leaves. So please, the DPW, while plowing our streets in this town, saved a person's life this year. Do you think a hired contractor from the outside is going to have those qualifications or be on our streets at all during those hours? Johnny Lynch, the reason why these streets are clean, and this was brought up before, I think by Mr. O'Connor, the reason our streets are so clean, the salt is put down on the roads before the first snowflake falls. You're going to pay for that with a contractor. These guys are doing it here. Remember the prevailing wage rate. And I don't know whether it goes into account for snow removal or not. I'm not that familiar with it. But you have to pay that rate. I'd almost guarantee you're not paying the DPW a prevailing wage rate. I may be off base here, but please, make sure you look into all the hidden costs that are going to fall back on us.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to be heard? Okay, this young lady here. Like, you're not a young lady.
What are you telling us?